Limiting beliefs. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this course, this free dropshipping course that we've assembled for you. Now, in this module, I'm going to be talking about mindset, and having the proper mindset going into anything is extremely crucial. If you go into something unprepared, you have a way higher probability of failure. So there are obviously, tangible, objective strategies and things you should and shouldn't do in order to make a business work. But at the end of the day, the mindset that you go into everything with is ultimately going to make it a lot easier or a lot harder for you. And that's why I'm here teaching mindset. Now, for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm assuming most people going through this course know who I am. But for those of you that don't know, it's a rags to riches story. I came from absolutely nothing, zero, to being a multimillionaire at 23. So I was raised dirt poor, with absolutely, like I said, absolutely nothing. Like my mom could barely put food on the table, parents divorced. There was one point when we didn't have electricity in our house, multiple siblings, very, very poor, never got new clothes, never got anything. Parents immigrated from a country, from Romania back in the 1980s. And to now, obviously, if you know who I am, then you know who I am. So I've learned a lot, and my mindset has gotten strong over the years, I would say, and I've learned a lot about mindset. So no more rambling. I just wanted to give you like a reason to listen to me, and now I'm going to talk about mindset. So the first thing is limiting beliefs. Now, everybody watching this that hasn't achieved something that they've set out to achieve will have a limiting belief. So for example, like you'll never believe you can bench 225 unless you start going into the gym and getting close to 225. But if you've never practiced or trained and you just go and try to lift 225, you're never ever going to be able to lift it on a bench press or squat or whatever. The same thing applies if you genuinely tell yourself that you cannot lift or bench 225, then you never will be able to. And the same thing applies to business, and the same thing applies to going and talking to a girl or getting a girl. The same thing applies to everything. If you genuinely tell yourself that you cannot do something, your brain will say, okay, well, I'm not going to let you do it. I cannot ride a bike, it's impossible. Like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to ride a bike. I cannot make $1,000 in a day on the internet, it's not possible. I cannot talk to that girl, it's not possible. So if you start there, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're never going to get what you want to get. So immediately you have to switch that part of your brain. And you have to do the opposite. You have to tell yourself that you can do it and it's possible. And the reason it's possible is because other people are doing it, and you're not different than other people. We're all human. So you can lift 225, it just takes time, and you have to build strength. You can make $1,000 in a day. You just have to know how to do it, and you have to get to that point. You have to practice, you have to try, build up, make $500 a day, make $700 a day, and then you can make $1,000 a day. You can talk to the girl, just go up and talk to her. There's billions of women. So like if she rejects you and that's the worst thing that can happen, you could learn something from it and you could laugh about it. You'll be happy that you went up and did it. You'll prove to yourself that you're courageous, and that will make you feel good. And then you'll get better at it in the future. So the first step is just telling yourself that you can do whatever you're setting out to do. That's very important. I want to say that a lot of people don't have the confidence to do the things, and that's okay. Like confidence, you're not born with confidence as a baby. You don't see a baby walking around claiming that he's going to be a billionaire. Confidence is something that is earned, and I believe it's earned through competence and slow and steady progress and in small incremental wins. So you need to win incrementally to build up your confidence. Now, for example, I genuinely did not ever have this idea in my mind that I could make $1,000 in a day. When I was in high school, I did not think that was a thing. I never thought about it. And then I learned about dropshipping, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to get into it. I didn't think I could make $1,000. So I started doing it. And then there was one day I made $400. And then there was one day I made $700. And then one day I made $1,000. And then I was like, okay, well, I just made $1,000 in a day. And I didn't think I could do that, but I did. So what's next? Like 5,000. And again, over time, I made 2,500, 4,000, and then I hit 5, and then 10, and then 10 came, and then 20, and then 20 came, and then 100, and then 100 came, so on and so forth. And that's just how it goes. So that applies to everything. And as you get confidence stomping each and every goal on your way up, you're going to believe that you can do anything. So now I believe one day I'll probably make $10 million in a day. It's probably going to happen because I just know that that's the trajectory that I'm on. And I get that confidence. Like I can say that pretty confidently because of all the small wins I've had up until as I'm filming this video. So you have to understand that concept where in order to believe you can do something and support your limiting beliefs mindset, you need to have small and steady incremental wins. All I can advise anybody watching to do is to expedite this process by just genuinely believing from the bottom of their heart that they are capable of doing whatever they set out to do. If you're getting into this little dropshipping course for free because you want to start a dropshipping business and say you want to make $10,000 a month profit, you need to genuinely believe that it's possible. And I don't want you to just look at me or Sebastian or other YouTubers or gurus or whatever you want to call people. I get hundreds of DMs a day and a lot of DMs of people saying that they watch videos and they're making a killing dropshipping or doing this cool strategy or doing this or that. I get hundreds of those of kids that are 18 that are literally just making tons of money on the internet. So don't even look at me or anyone else on YouTube. Just know, and I'm telling you the truth, I have absolutely no reason to lie, no financial incentive. This is free. I get hundreds of these people that reach out to me and tell me that they're making a shit ton of money on the internet and they're kids. Okay. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. I don't think these kids are different, very, very much different than whoever's watching this. And then finally, the last note I had is your perception is your reality. And this is basically just a repetition of everything that I've been saying. And again, if you don't think you're gonna be able to get to this level, then you never will. And if you think you're gonna be able to get to this level and you work your way backwards, and you do that in combination with not giving up, despite failing along the way, which is gonna happen no matter what, 100% of the time, then eventually you will get there. It's only a matter of time. So just keep that in mind. Your perspective is your reality, so change your perspective. This is very possible. To anybody that says it's not possible, no offense to them, but they're ignorant to this industry or this new wave of life, I guess. So yeah, keep that in mind. Perspective is reality.